Welcome to Hey Dr. Sue. So people submit their sex questions to me anonymously, and once a week I post one question and one answer. Do you have a sex question you've always wanted answered? Go ahead and check out the description for information on how to submit it anonymously. This week's question is, does the size of the bed affect how much action they get? So I got to admit, this is the first time I've had a question about this. So I decided to look it up and see if there were any studies on this. And unfortunately, there's a lot of bias that exists in both research and our culture when it comes to asking about frequency of sex. Most of the studies I found regarding sexual satisfaction, relationship satisfaction, and bed size focused on married couples. A few did look at people in relationships, but I really didn't find any studies that looked at frequency of sex and bed size among those who were single. There were some interesting findings in some of these studies. They may not directly relate to your question, but they may provide some insight, and I thought they were interesting enough to give a few sentences to. For couples, the size of the bed didn't impact frequency of sex directly, but it did impact levels of intimacy. If you have a small bed, think like full or twin, you're kind of in each other's space all the time, and you're more likely to cuddle. When you're in a larger bed, like a queen or a king, it's easier to have your own space, and that can actually lead to less cuddling and feeling lower levels of intimacy. And there is a study done by the Better Sleep Council. The link is in the description. The study found that most couples like to cuddle, and that actually men like it more than women. But back to your question, a larger bed can give you more room to play, which means that you can maybe explore different positions easier. Or if you're keeping things like sex toys or props, you can put them next to you on the bed instead of just near the bed. And the thing I want everyone to keep in mind is that sex play doesn't have to happen in a bed. It can take place anywhere. So with all that being said, if you're dating, then there's nothing to signify that there's a relationship between the size of the bed and how much action you're going to get. If you're in a relationship and sharing a bed, then there may be a correlation between the size of the bed and levels of intimacy. But remember, that's not the same thing as cause and effect. And there are many, many other things that can impact the frequency of sex that have nothing to do with the size of the bed. Until next time, be safe and have fun. Did you like that video? If so, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. That way you'll know when new videos come out. Also check out the description to find out how to find me on Instagram, Medium, and Threads. And make sure to check the description for links where you can submit your own sex question.